If you think that fresh, never-frozen burgers should be stacked as high as possible, or that Frosties should have a kick to keep you going throughout the day, then you need to check out these Wendy's secret menu tricks. Some call it the Grand Slam Burger. Others call it the Meat Cube. Whatever name you prefer, the end result is the same. A huge stack of beef in the form of 4 square-shaped patties, along with plenty of gooey cheese. Ordering the Meat Cube is easy enough. All you have to do is ask for a Dave's Triple and add a bonus patty. Actually, eating this monstrosity might sound like a practical challenge, but it turns out that it's much easier to finish than you might think. Chowing down on 4 beef patties is no small feat, but it thankfully doesn't feel like a grease overload. At least not as much as it would at some other fast food joints. It goes without saying, but this burger is definitely best reserved for the days when you're feeling absolutely ravenous. Also, including slices of cheese between each of the 4 patties is a must to break up the beefy monotony. Otherwise, it could end up feeling like biting into a meatloaf. We'd also recommend keeping a hefty drink on hand, because this much meat in one go will almost certainly leave you parched. If you thought the Meat Cube was as beefy as it could get, think again. Roaring in next is the gargantuan T-Rex burger, which stacks a whopping 9 patties and 9 slices of cheese stacked atop each other. Unlike most secret menu items, this one has its roots in a legitimate, albeit short-lived, official burger. It was sold at a Wendy's in Canada in 2013, but the chain soon put a stop to this rogue offering, with an administrative assistant insisting, Wendy's neither condones nor promotes the idea of anyone consuming a 9-patty hamburger in one sitting. Nevertheless, its legacy lives on. To face off against a T-Rex, you'll need to either order extra patties or combine 3 Dave's Triples. Fair warning though, unless you're a snake, you probably won't be able to unhinge your jaw wide enough to get your mouth around the entire burger in one go. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth a try. We're certainly not suggesting that you make it your regular order. And we have a feeling that any concerned nutritionist would agree, to put it mildly. Basically, the T-Rex has established itself as an iconic fast food challenge that's more of a one-off experience than a reliable go-to order.
If you add up the cost of each burger, that's actually a really good deal.
If you don't like combining different proteins, feel free to skip this one. On the other hand, if you think the only thing better than chicken, beef, or bacon is chowing down on all 3 at the same time, then pay close attention. The Barnyard Burger has carved out a legacy for itself by combining all 3 of those meats in a single sandwich, making it the perfect option for all you indecisive carnivores out there. The easiest way to get a Barnyard Burger is to order any burger with bacon, then get a chicken sandwich. Combine them. You could also order a chicken sandwich that includes bacon and then request a beef patty as an add-on. However you choose to make it happen, the different meats all work together surprisingly well. The Wendy's beef makes for a succulent base. The crispy chicken adds some textural variety, and the crispy bacon lends a smoky edge. Wendy's has acknowledged the Barnyard Burger's existence, but while it may never earn a legitimate spot on the menu, we're still happy that it exists in its makeshift form. If you've ever enjoyed a Baconator, then you shouldn't have too much trouble figuring out what a Quadruple Baconator is. The standard version takes a ½ pound of beef and stacks it with cheese, 6 strips of applewood bacon, ketchup, and mayonnaise, while the Quadruple Edition doubles both the beef and bacon. You can either go through the effort of requesting the extra patties and bacon, or you can construct a quadruple from 2 Baconators. However, this is one of the few secret menu items that customers have reported being able to successfully order by name. Unsurprisingly, 12 strips of bacon equals extreme saltiness, so if that's not to your taste, skip this selection. But even if that is exactly to your liking, you'll still only want to indulge every once in a while, because a Quadruple Baconator isn't exactly a healthy amount of sodium.
Let's get that Baconator.
Wendy's burgers are delicious. And you know what else is delicious? Wendy's chili. So it only stands to reason that combining the 2 together is a stroke of culinary genius. The first time you try a Wendy's chili cheeseburger, you'll probably be surprised that the chain hasn't added it to their everyday menu. Even more confounding is the fact that its locations in the United Arab Emirates have already adopted this idea. Meanwhile, all the United States Wendy's haven't caught on. In the meantime, going the do-it-yourself route is super easy. Just order the 2 parts separately and combine them. Or you could simply dunk your burger into your chili. Be forewarned, though, that there's no guarantee that things won't get messy in the process. In fact, they almost definitely will. Nevertheless, topping a Wendy's burger with chili makes for a flavorful mix. Not only do you get the juiciness of the beef patty, you also get the smokiness of the chili. But be careful, as adding too much of the chili can end up being a salt overload and overwhelm the flavor of the actual patty. To keep the sodium in check and also keep things relatively neat, we recommend adding just 1 scoop and saving the rest as a side. Once upon a time, the Valley Crispy Chicken Club was a very real item on the Wendy's menu, and thankfully, everything needed to make this sandwich is still available today. All you have to do is order a classic chicken sandwich, complete with its standard crispy chicken, lettuce, tomato, mayo, and pickles, and request a bonus serving of bacon. The final product is just as delicious as the long-lost Valley Crispy Chicken Club was back in the day. Bacon always pairs well with chicken, and this is no exception. Wendy's in particular excels at crispy bacon. Even if some people think the quality has deteriorated since the chain allegedly switched to pre-cooked strips. But don't worry about those doubters, as the crunchy finish acts as the secret ingredient that elevates the classic chicken sandwich from solid to spectacular.
I know what you're thinking. What am I doing making chicken? Well, I'm making the most delicious chicken sandwiches in the business.
Wendy's Asiago Ranch Classic Chicken Club takes breaded chicken and combines it with applewood smoked bacon, Asiago cheese, ranch sauce, lettuce, and tomato to deliver a tasty, zingy spin on a classic. While the OG version is delicious enough, anyone who prefers beef over chicken can customize this offering into an Asiago beef burger by requesting to swap out the poultry for one of those fresh, never-frozen patties. It's not quite as easy to secure a beefy version of the spicy Asiago Ranch Chicken Club, though, as the sandwich's kick relies on the spicy breading of the chicken itself. However, if you want to create something close, you can substitute the chicken for beef and then request ghost pepper ranch sauce to dial up the heat. The beef versions are delicious in both forms, but we bet that you'll find that the classic is the better of the two. Leaving the focus to the creaminess of the ranch dressing makes for a nice counterpoint to the beef patty's deeper, richer flavor. While it's tough to beat the flavor profile of the Asiago Ranch Chicken Club, this is one of the few twists on the Wendy's menu that may actually improve upon the original. Dessert and coffee are two of the tastiest vices available on planet Earth, so it's pretty much a no-brainer to combine them. Wendy got into the caffeinated dessert game in 2023 with the launch of the Frosty Cream Cold Brew, which was a cold-brewed coffee made with Frosty creamer. It was perfect for whenever you needed a pick-me-up while craving this iconic sweet treat. Delicious though it may be, it's definitely more of a sweet, slightly denser coffee than it is an actual Frosty. It may not have secured a permanent spot on the official menu, but that's of course where the secret menu comes in handy. To make a coffee Frosty, all you need is a Frosty and some form of iced coffee. You could also use hot coffee to create an affogato-style dessert. After eating a small amount of the Frosty, you make up the difference by pouring in your beverage. And voila, it's the coffee Frosty.
Well, the thing about the Frosty is that it kind of blends the best of both worlds, right?
Like a standard Frosty, it's best consumed with a spoon rather than a straw. While the flavor is up to you, vanilla typically makes for the best blank canvas for your espresso, similar to the deeply missed Frosty-ccino. Floats are a frequent feature on plenty of fast food secret menus, and Wendy's is no different. At New Zealand locations, customers are actually able to order a float directly from the official menu, while the Wendy's in Guam briefly offered Coca-Cola and root beer floats in 2024. And there was even a time when American Wendy's officially offered float variations of chocolate and vanilla Frosties. But that sweet reality is no longer. So we'll have to resort to the secret menu to get our fix. When the craving strikes, order a Frosty and your soda of choice and then mix them up. It's simple, yet effective. And it technically results in 2 portions, seeing as you'll be working with both a full-size soda and a full-size Frosty. While everyone has their personal preferences, some combos are undeniably tastier than others, with Fanta Orange and a vanilla Frosty working perfectly for a creamsicle-style flavor. Or if you're in a nostalgic mood, you can go for a Barks root beer and a vanilla Frosty to create a makeshift root beer float. Wendy's actually endorsed that particular float hack on their website back in 2021, so clearly they know what we're craving, even if they refuse to give the people what they want on the official menu. The BBQ Cheeseburger is deceptively simple. Barbecue sauce, cheese, and beef are such a natural combo that it feels odd that it isn't already covered by Wendy's everyday menu. The chain has introduced several barbecue burgers in the past, but with none listed on the menu in 2025. That leaves the customers to fill in the gaps. Securing a Wendy's BBQ Cheeseburger is a pretty straightforward process. Order the specific cheeseburger of your choice, perhaps a Dave's single or a junior cheeseburger, and ask to top it with barbecue sauce. If you're feeling shy, you can also just pick up a tub of sauce after ordering to slather it on the patty yourself.
It's not rocket science.
It may not sound like much, but it's nevertheless worth the effort. The sweet and smoky flavor complements Wendy's juicy beef perfectly, begging the question of why the chain doesn't just introduce a permanent barbecue option. If you're keen to customize your burger but aren't so keen on barbecue, you can take a similar approach with other sauces. Wendy's also offers blue cheese, honey mustard, and ghost pepper ranch, all of which make decent additions to any burger or non-beef-based sandwich.
Man, I'm hungry. Those things look good.